Hi, this is Brian Fogarty, and this is a video for Chapter 8 of the book Quantitative Social Science Data with R, second edition. So in this video, what we're going to do is take our first look at data visualization. And so we are going to do a very simple bar plot with just one variable. So bar plots are used when we have categorical data of some type, so nominal or ordinal level variables. Okay, so I have already opened up my R Markdown file, got it saved. I am going to set my library and working directory, and I've put in the R Markdown section headers, bar plots, one variable. Okay, so we are going to use the VF England data set. All right, and just to remind you, this data set is a survey of English voters and their views on voter fraud. Okay, so I loaded tidyverse, and then let's read in the data. We're going to save it as VF England. It's a CSV file, so we're going to do read_CSV, and then it's called VF England.csv. Okay, so we're going to use a variable, the VF problem variable. This asks respondents their views on whether or not or how much do they agree or disagree that voter fraud is a problem in UK elections. All right, so let's take a look at this. If you remember from previous videos, previous chapters, we know we have a problem with this variable. Let's take a look at this. All right, the problem is that the categories are ordered based on or ordered alphabetically. So the first thing we need to do before we do any plotting is we need to reorder or rearrange the labels. Okay, so let's do this. So I'm going to save this as a new variable. We don't need to actually with plotting. There's a lot of stuff we can do without actually changing a variable, but it's still a good practice. All right, so this was in the previous videos about how to manipulate and recode different variables. Okay, so we're going to use the mutate function. We're going to create a new variable called VF problem1 equals, and then we're going to do factor, and then VF problem, comma, and then we're going to reset the levels so that they are in the correct order. So we need to use the concatenate function, the C, and we're going to do strongly disagree, disagree, slightly disagree, and then neither disagree nor agree, slightly agree. I know this is really boring. Agree, and then strongly agree. Okay, so let's highlight that and run it. All right, we didn't get an error. I'm going to steal this here just because it's faster and take a look to make sure that the recoding worked. So it's VF problem 1, highlight that. That did not work. Okay. Let me see. Strongly disagree, neither. Let's see. What did I do wrong? Neither agree. Oh, there we go. So you see, actually, this is good practice. So I messed this up. So I tried to re-level it and notice that we only have 5, even though there's supposed to be 7. So we didn't get an error when we did it, right? It just moved those to missing. Okay. it's always good to make sure you know what you're typing. Right? So it's actually neither agree nor disagree. And then for strongly agree, it's actually lowercase. Is that right? Or did I do it twice? Slightly agree, strongly agree, right. All right, let's see if this works this time. I'm going to highlight all of it and run it. Slightly. Yep, that looks much better. Okay, after that mess up, let's take a look now at doing just a really basic, simple bar plot. We're not going to do anything fancy. We're going to save the fanciness for the future. All right, so we're going to use functions from the ggplot2 library, which is a core part of Tidyverse. And so to think about how ggplot works, what I like to say is think of it like it's a series of layers. Not just me, this is how it's explained, but it's a series of layers, and we add things on top of one another. So we start out with like a base layer that kind of sets the XY axes, and then we build upon that. All right, so let's do this basic one variable bar plot. I'm going to do ggplot and then data VF England. So here we just declared the data. We can do this in different spots as well. All right, and then we're going to use geom bar. So all of the different things that we're plotting, whether it's lines or different shapes, stuff like that, they're all like geom underscore something. I always think of like geom rock crystal things for some reason. I don't know. All right, so we're going to do geom bar and then mapping equals AES. So you often don't really need the mapping equals, but it's sort of good practice just to get used to the grammar of it. All right, so mapping equals AES. AES is for aesthetics, and this is where we include what variables we're using, at least for the core part of our plot. And then we're going to do VF problem 1. Okay, so let's highlight that. All right, so we have it come down here. I'm just going to click on the zoom button. All right, and so what this is showing, again, this is super basic. We have our VF problem 1 on the x-axis here, goes strongly disagree through strongly agree. And on the y-axis, it is count, which is just literally the number of observations. So, looking at this, what do we see? We see that most respondents fall in the middle of neither agree nor disagree, and then it kind of tails off in both directions. Okay, so that's it for this video. Again, it's just really simple getting into it. All the fancy stuff will come in a very short time. All right, so thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.